Data analyst. The average data analyst salary in the US in 2026 is around $84,000, with senior analysts in major metros clearing $130,000 base. The number most people quote is the entry-level figure. The senior number is rarely discussed. The angle nobody covers. Data analysts in secondary tech markets, Raleigh, Atlanta, Denver, now take home more after rent than the same role in San Francisco. A $95,000 salary in Raleigh and a $130,000 salary in San Francisco produce almost identical purchasing power once housing costs are removed. Remote-first hiring has made geography a choice rather than a constraint for this role specifically. The skill that separates $65,000 analysts from $100,000 analysts is not Python. It is SQL. Specifically, the ability to write complex queries that answer business questions without needing a data engineer to help. Python adds value at the next level. SQL unlocks the salary jump, the fork that appears at year 3. Most analysts either move toward data science, requiring statistics and ML, or toward analytics engineering, requiring SQL and data modeling. Both pay more. The analysts who stay generalists past year 4 typically plateau. Choosing the direction early is the move most people make too late. Data analyst versus business analyst. The confusion that costs interviews. These two roles share interview pipelines at most companies and are frequently confused in job postings. A data analyst answers, "What happened in our data?" A business analyst answers, "What should we do about it?" Data analysts work in SQL, Python, and BI tools like Tableau or Power BI. Business analysts work in requirements documents, stakeholder meetings, and process maps, with data as supporting evidence rather than primary output. The skill that moves you from data analyst to business analyst without starting over. Structured communication. Business analysts translate between technical teams and non-technical decision makers. The technical skill requirement is lower. The communication skill requirement is higher. Business analysts at non-tech companies, banks, insurance companies, healthcare systems, frequently out-earn data analysts at tech companies while dealing with significantly less technical complexity. Data scientist. Data scientist roles are genuinely growing. Employment for data and analytics roles is projected to grow 23 to 34% between 2023 and 2034, far outpacing the average for all occupations. But the honest version of this role is different from the version boot camps sell. 51% of working data scientists hold a bachelor's degree. 34% have a master's, 13% have a PhD. Boot camps teach Python and machine learning and position graduates as data scientists. Hiring managers screen for domain expertise, statistical reasoning, and evidence of working with real, messy data, not portfolio projects built on clean Kaggle datasets. The specific type of company where a data scientist spends 80% of their time cleaning data rather than building models. Any company that doesn't have a mature data engineering infrastructure. At a startup with no data engineer, the data scientist builds pipelines, cleans data, maintains dashboards, and then occasionally trains a model. The role that gets sold as creative model building is frequently operational data maintenance at most companies. The companies where the job matches the description: large tech companies, established fintech and health tech firms, and organizations with dedicated data engineering teams. At those companies, data scientists actually spend their time on models. Analytics engineer. Analytics engineering sits between data analyst and data engineer. It uses SQL and a tool called dbt to build the clean, well-organized data layer that analysts query. It is the role that makes the analyst's job possible. Companies like Airbnb, Spotify, and Stripe created this role internally before it had a job title. It became a recognized role as dbt became the industry standard for data transformation. Salary range: $110,000 to $145,000. It does not require a statistics or machine learning background. It requires SQL fluency, attention to data quality, and the ability to document what you build so others can use it. Most people in data have never heard this title. The ones who find it typically describe it as the best combination of what they liked about analyst work with better pay and a cleaner scope. Data engineer. Data engineers average $130,000 plus per year, making this consistently one of the highest paying data roles. The reason it gets less attention than data science? The work is invisible. Nobody sees a working data pipeline. Everyone sees a broken one. Data engineers build the systems that move, store, and prepare data so that analysts and scientists can use it. When the pipeline works, it is taken for granted. When it breaks, everything breaks. The tools that appear in the majority of data engineer job postings: Apache Spark for large-scale data processing, Apache Airflow for scheduling and orchestration, dbt for transformation, and at least one cloud platform: AWS, GCP, or Azure. The entry path that bypasses the degree requirement most people assume is mandatory: software engineering experience plus cloud certifications. More data engineer job postings request demonstrated pipeline experience than require a specific degree. ML engineer. Data scientists build models. ML engineers deploy them, so they actually work at scale. A model that exists only in a Jupyter notebook earns the company nothing. The ML engineer is the person who takes that model, wraps it in reliable software, exposes it as an API, monitors it in production, and rebuilds it when it degrades. Salary range: $134,000 to $193,000 in 2026. One of the fastest growing roles in tech and still significantly undersupplied relative to demand. The background that gets people into ML engineering most reliably: software engineering experience combined with some exposure to machine learning, not a data science degree. Data science manager. Data science and engineering managers average $219,000 in 2026. The trade-off is direct and honest. You stop doing the technical work and start making the people who do it more effective. Your performance is measured by your team's output, not your own models or pipelines. The managers who thrive are the ones who find more satisfaction in unblocking their team than in building things themselves. The managers who struggle spend the first year grieving the technical depth they gave up. The specific career mistake: moving into management too early because the salary increase looks attractive, before you have enough technical experience to lead technical people credibly. Credibility in technical management comes from having done the work. Without it, the team knows. The AI effect on every data role right now. The role AI is replacing fastest is not data scientist, it is junior data analyst. SQL queries, basic dashboard builds, and simple reporting are the tasks AI handles first. A junior analyst who uses AI tools to do what previously required a senior analyst is valuable. A junior analyst who does not is in direct competition with the AI tool their company is already paying for. The data roles expanding fastest in 2026 are those requiring AI and machine learning expertise. AI architect roles pay $142,000 to $197,000. AI/ML engineer roles pay $134,000 to $193,000. The skill that protects every data role from AI replacement: domain expertise combined with technical skill. AI can query data. It cannot replace someone who understands both the data and the business decision it informs. That combination, technical fluency plus domain knowledge, is where every data career that survives the next 5 years is heading. Data is one lane inside a much larger map. Every tech job explained, including what each role pays, what the work actually looks like, and which type of person fits each path, is on screen right now.